Hey guys, welcome to Brunch Break episode 15. Today we're going to be talking about the 5-second rule and what that really means and how we can use this rule to take action on what we want and why we want it. So let's dive in. Welcome to all the live viewers, happy Tuesday, and holla to my replay viewers as well. So the 5-second rule, and let me back up just a little bit. When we set goals to anything in our life, whether it's nutrition, lifestyle, relationship, career, personal, business, home life, doesn't matter. When we set a goal and we want to achieve something, it's not going to get achieved until we act on it, right? But that's almost the later part of it. The first part, the most important 3 parts of making a change and making a habit and making something last is A, knowing what you want, B, knowing why you want it, and C, the implementation, taking action. Tony Robbins talks about this a lot. He calls it OPA, outcome, purpose, action. So what do you want? Know what you want, decide what you want. Number 2, the purpose, why do you want it? And number 3 is the action part. So with any goal, I really like to start with those places first. I have to know what I want, or I'm just going to be like running around not knowing what the hell I'm doing. So knowing what you want, super important. Knowing why you want it. What's behind what you want? Do you want to lose 20 pounds? Okay, cool, great, that's awesome. Why do you want to lose 20 pounds though? Do you want to run a 5K? Why do you want to run a 5K? What will that do for you? How will you feel? Why do you want that? So the second part is super important, the whys, right? The third part of that is the action. And that's where a lot of people stumble, is actually taking the action to get the what's, to reach their goals. And, you know, a lot of times your whys can carry you. And a lot of times your whys can just drive you and help you reach where you want to go, right? They can be so powerful that you don't need motivation. You're so determined. But what about the times where you're like, I don't want to do anything. Like, I know what I want, I know why I want it, but I don't really want to do the things needed to get there. Or I'm feeling, down, or I'm feeling lazy, or I'm just like not into it, right? Like I am just like struggling with actually fulfilling the action portion of the habit, the action portion and the implementation portion of making a change. And what I want to talk to you guys about today is Mel Robbins' 5-second rule. And this 5-second rule is basically you taking action on an idea or a thought within 5 seconds of thinking it. Otherwise, your brain will kill the idea. Have you ever been in like a work meeting, or we'll just use that for an example, like a work meeting, and you have a good idea, right? And you sit there and you think about it, and you're like, should I raise my hand? Should I not raise my hand? I'm just gonna, I'll wait for a moment. And then the moment passes, and then someone else starts talking, and then you forget the idea maybe, or it ran out of time, or they weren't taking questions anymore because you didn't actually, raise your hand and like want to share what you were thinking, right? So think of that scenario and what would have happened if you could have raised your hand and shared your idea. Your one idea could have changed so much. Your company, your career, who knows? But not sharing that idea and not acting on that thought right when you have it within those 5 seconds, your brain can kill the idea sometimes. So let's apply this to our nutrition and lifestyle. I'll use myself for an example because I know myself very well, and sometimes I don't do what I need to do. So when my alarm goes off in the morning, I want to wake up when my alarm goes off and not when I hit snooze 500 times. Has anyone else been there? Okay, me. I'm always hitting snooze. I'm like hitting snooze like 5-6 times, but I want to wake up when my alarm goes off. If I give myself 5 seconds to wake up when my alarm goes off and do it in those 5 seconds and get out of bed, I'm much more apt to do that if I give myself the 5 seconds, consciously, mindfully, give myself those 5 seconds to actually stand up and get out of bed and like start walking around and like actually start physically doing something. Because if I lay in bed and I think about it and I'm like, gosh, I really could use like 15 more minutes, like I'll just hit snooze one more time, like it's probably not that big of a deal. Oh, you know, I woke up early yesterday. Your brain like starts thinking of all of these excuses, okay? Even for like going to yoga, taking a walk, doing anything. If we don't physically do it within 5 seconds of thinking of the idea, the chances of us doing it become less and less, because our brain kills the idea, and then we get busy, and then life happens, and then you're not in the mood later, and then all these things happen. And so acting on something physically within 5 seconds, do it, girl. So let me ask you what your goals are. And once you get your goals, decide why you want them. Write it down. And that's another part of action and implementation and figuring things out, is what do you want and why do you want it? Write it down on paper. It is so beneficial to write out our goals. People who write out their goals are much more likely to achieve them. They see them, they write it down, it's tangible, they can check it off, they can scratch it off the to-do list, they can see that they're making progress, they can get reminded of it, right? So what do you want and why do you want it? Write it down. And then decide what actions is going to be needed for you to reach those goals. Do you need to start clearing out your cupboards from all the refined sugar and the oils and the crap and all the other shit? Then we need to do that and start acting on it. We have to start taking action on things that we want, or 1 year from now, with you not taking action, you'll be in the same spot as you were, at this time, a year from now, if you don't take action. So, and I can say that because I myself did not take action for years and years and years. I was so set in my ways. I was so comfortable. I was so not ready, willing, like really disciplined to take action. And so I sat there on the couch for years and years and years, and I let obesity run my life. I let emotional eating run my life. I let inactivity run my life, and I was not in control. And it was because I was not taking action on the things that I wanted. Like, I could have wanted to lose weight so bad, and I did, but I didn't take action on it. And my whys weren't big enough too. I didn't have really, really big whys before I made my lifestyle change. My whys were not bigger than my excuses. My excuses were still really, really big. So when your whys can become bigger than your excuses is another step up. And then the implementation part is the next. And I just love this 5-second rule. I love that you have this short window of making a decision, and it's discipline. It takes practice. It takes you doing things that you don't want to do to get to what you want. Like, change is hard. Like, it's going to be tough. You're going to have to, I don't want to say the struggle's real. It's going to be so hard, but you are going to have to do things that are uncomfortable. You are going to have to do things that are new. You are going to have to do things that you've never done before. But if you want to be somewhere that you've never been before, if you've always been overweight and you want to not be overweight anymore, then you have to do things that you've never done before to get to where you have never been before. And that's one thing that I definitely had to come to terms with. Yeah, I never exercised ever. I played football in junior high. I guess that was exercise, kind of. But I wasn't really active, in my later adolescent and, early 20s years. I didn't really do anything. I walked at work a little bit, or I walked around the mall, but I wasn't really active. And so pairing that with my nutrition change, which again was something I'd never done before, I had to do these things so that I could get to where I want to go. So it's very important to know what you want. It's very important, and write it down. It's very important to know why you want it. I want you to dig deep and figure out why you want the things that you want. And don't don't feel like you have to want a certain thing because society tells you you should want it, or your mom tells you you should want it, or I tell you you should want it. What do you want, and why do you want it? Because if you're going based off of someone else's wants and whys, it's not going to drive you. It's not going to power you. It's not going to empower you to reach your goals if they're someone else's goals. So what do you want? Why do you want them? And what do you need to do? What things do you need to put in place so that you can get there? And then take action. Outcome, purpose, action. Give yourself a 5-second rule and start acting on those things. The minute you're like, man, should I make a salad? Go make the salad. The second you think like, should I get up and get my day started with a walk and maybe some yoga and tea, or should I sleep another half hour? What do you want? Do you want to reach your goals with yoga and drinking some herbal tea and waking up early and greeting the day? Then give yourself 5 seconds and get up and go do it. You'll feel so much better. You're never going to regret going and making that salad. You're never going to regret getting up and greeting the day with a walk in nature and finishing off your early morning with a cup of warm herbal tea. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to feel the effects of making these good choices. So give yourself 5 seconds every time you think of something that you want to do that will move you forward towards your goals and help you achieve optimal health and help you live the life that you want to live, because you create your own reality. You can design how your lifestyle looks, and it's up to you to implement and to take action on that. If you need help doing that, please let me know. Send me a message, comment below. I'd love to help you in your lifestyle journey. We have our monthly membership site, NutriBabe Nation, that has been live for about 8 weeks now, about 7 weeks or so. We have over 70 members, and it is the place where you can go and have a community, have tools, have accountability if you need it, share, learn, watch videos, how-tos, tutorials, and all that happens in NutriBabe Nation. So head to NutriBabeNation.com if that interests you. Thanks for watching Brunch Break today. I'm here live every Tuesday morning at 11 a.m. Central Time. And what I want to do next week is I want to do an open Q&A. Like, whoever's on can ask whatever questions. So I'll send out an email and do a post and stuff, but get your questions ready for me. I'm just going to be an open book next Tuesday, and would love to answer any questions you guys have about my lifestyle change, my nutrition, what I do now, how I eat, whatever. Any questions you have for me, hit me. I'm an open book, would love to answer them. In the meantime, if you want to hang out with me more, head to NutriBabe Nation, our monthly membership site, and let's start to crush those goals and take action on the things needed for you to reach them. See ya.